Have you ever been stuck? I mean, really, really stuck. You're prodding, you're processing, but you just can't find the answer. No matter what you do, you can't force it. And then, maybe you're in the shower. You're mowing the lawn. You're out for a walk. And bingo, the answer just appears. It's like magic. But it's not magic. When you give yourself enough space and time, the answer will reveal itself to you. Now, I started to see this in my life, and I saw the patterns in the lives of people that I love. I want to introduce you to Ted. Ted is my husband of 25 years. I love him so dearly. He is my rock. But there is one thing that I do not like. Every week, religiously, he will be late for work at least one day. And when he is looking for his keys, his wallet, and his phone. And this is what I'll experience. Colleen, where are my keys? He paces back and forth, back and forth. But let's be honest. We have all been Teds in our own lives, looking for our keys of happiness that are right there in front of us, but we just can't see them. So Ted, he's pacing back and forth, and then he just stops. He pauses. And for 30 seconds, there's stillness. And then he methodically goes and collects his keys, his wallets, and his phone. Now, his keys, his wallet, and his phone, they did not move. Ted did. Again, by giving enough space and time, the answer revealed itself to us. But we are a society that is obsessed with speed. We believe that momentum means fast forward and a relentless motion. But speed without direction is not momentum. It is exhaustion. But think about it. You can go order from Amazon and get it next day. You can go to Uber Eats and get your food in an hour. You, if you have questions, can go on the internet and get answers within minutes, validations within seconds. So of course, we want instant everything, instant results, instant gratitude. We are just conditioned to expect this of our lives. Now me, I know this more and better probably than anyone else here, because I have worked in big tech in Silicon Valley for the past 30 years. And in Silicon Valley, our focus is fail fast, fail forward. You just keep pushing until you can get the answers. But guess what? No one ever asks, what is the question? Crazy, isn't it? So 5 years ago, I was sitting with my therapist, and I looked her point blank in the eye, and I told her that speed was my superpower. If you could have seen my therapist's face, it was laughable. I'm surprised she didn't ask, with all of these things that I was doing, the 10 projects, the 15 tasks, I was moving so fast, but where was I actually going? But there was a turning point, and the turning point was 5 months later. I was still sitting in therapy, and in therapy, my therapist asked me the same question that she had asked for every week. The question was, Colleen, what do you want? She was asking me for my direction. And for 5 months, I had just stared at her, blank face, deer in the headlights, crickets. But this time was different. I was shivering, and I was shaking. And almost inaudible, I said, I am meant for more. I am meant for more. And I wasn't holding back on my therapist. I was holding back on me. Because once you put something like that out into the universe, you cannot take it back. And once you put like something out there like that, you have to start looking at yourselves and how you might have to change. That was the turning point for me. But the most terrifying point of that interaction is I had absolutely no idea what more meant. But I figured it out using 3 steps. And I want to teach you those 3 steps right here so you can figure out your direction and build real momentum. The 3 steps are stillness, desire, and no. So let's unpack each one of these. Stillness. This is when you lower the noise so you can hear the answer. This is when Ted found his keys. This is when you were in the shower or where you were mowing the lawn and the answer just revealed itself to you. Now you can create stillness many ways. Maybe journaling, meditating, deep breathing, walking in nature. There are so many ways. Let me tell you how I do it. I start every day by journaling. Not long, 10, 15 minutes. And there are 2 things that are always in my journal. Write about a bunch of stuff, but there's always these 2. One is intentions. I defined how I want to experience my day, what energy I want to put out into the universe. And you know what? When I started to do this, that was the energy that not only went out into the universe, but came back to me. And this isn't just me saying it, it's backed by research and science. The second thing that I put in that journal is I put in gratitude. And for me, gratitude isn't these grandiose items. They're the small little things, like the first cup of coffee you have in the morning, like the fact that I invest the time to actually journal and invest in myself, or the smile that I just got right now from the person right here that I'm looking at. When you start your day with gratitude, it changes your mindset. It puts you into a place of positivity. And you all know that life is going to throw a lot at you. And if you're grounded in these small things, you're going to be able to tackle it. And I want to quote a legend, Jim Rohn. He said, "Win the morning and you'll win the day." The first thing, stillness. Lower the noise so the answers can be revealed to you. The second thing is desires. 5 years ago, if you asked me what I desired, I could not tell you. I could tell you what my boss wanted, what was expected of me at work, what I wanted to do with my husband, how I could help my daughter. But I could not tell you what I desired. And you know what the funny thing is? Desires is very similar to a muscle. If you do not use it, you will lose it. But it's also similar to a muscle in the fact that if you can gain it back by exercising that. Now, why we lose it is as we get older, we start doing shoulds in our lives. And we start taking care of other people and forget about ourselves. So here's the exercise for you to gain this back. 20 minutes pen to paper. Just want you to write down what you desire. But here is the trick. You put nothing in about financially how you can afford to do any of this stuff. You don't take into effect what your partner wants, what your parents want, what your work wants, what school wants, just what you want. And when you first start doing this, it's probably going to take 2, 3, maybe 4 times, because you got to exercise that muscle, the muscle of desire, so that you can figure out what you desire. Why this is so important is if you don't know what you desire, how do you know what direction to go? The desire determines the direction. And you are never going to gain your momentum unless you know the desire. I'm going to share with you one of my desires for the last 15 years that I am realizing right now on the stage, and it was the TED Talk. Number 3, no. I want you to say no to an older version of yourself. And you're going to do that by doing a calendar audit. And what I mean by that is I want you to look at your calendar. When I started to do this, I saw a bunch of tasks in my calendar that belonged to an old version of myself. You need to remove those. And you need to have tasks on there of the person that you are becoming, not the person that you were. Because your actions have to focus on your desires, or you will never gain that momentum. Desires. So let's recap. Stillness. Lower the noise so you can hear yourself. 2. Desires. Understand what direction that you're going. And 3, say no to an old version of yourself so your action will get you to those desires. Now, what I would love you to do right now is humor me. I'd like everyone to close their eyes. And I want you to picture that you are holding a big snow globe in your hands. And in the snow globe, it's magical. This is the snow globe of your life. And you can see everyone that's important to you and your goals and everything that you want. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take that snow globe and I want you to shake it. And I want you to shake it really, 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 really hard and to watch all the snow forming. And that snow is the noise and the distractions in your life. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take that snow globe and put it on the table and watch as the snow and the noise in your life settle. And look in that snow globe. What do you see? Open your eyes. We embrace speed. We believe that momentum means fast, forward, and relentlessness. But speed without direction is not momentum. It's exhaustion. So here is my ask of you. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, before you let the world tell it what it wants of you, I want you to put your snow globe down. I want you to sit in that stillness. And I want you to think about your intentions of where you want to go with your desires. And I want you to take action on that. Because if you understand your direction, and if your actions are aligned to that, you will build momentum. And now you have the 3 steps to achieve your personal momentum.